students. Today is the second lecture session, part 2. The topic of the lecture is Architecture of Computer Systems. In this video, we will cover the following topics. Components of computer system. Introduction to computer system. Types of computer systems. Computer system architecture. Computer hardware. Computer software. Application software. Evolution of computers. Conclusion. Components of computer system. In terms of functionality, the computer system can be grouped into 4 units. The computer system components are 1. Input devices input unit. 2. CPU central processing unit. 3. System memory memory unit. 4. Output devices output unit. Input and output devices. Computer system input unit. The term input unit input devices refers to the input provided by the user by using any input device such as keyboard, mouse, mic, camera or any storage device in the form of input data. The input data is operated and processed by the central processing unit CPU as per the program and sent to the output unit for further action. Computer system output unit. The term output unit refers to the output provided by the computer CPU after processing the user data inputs. This output is then sent to the output device such as monitor, printer, speaker to provide desired output to the user. The output can also be stored on any storage device for future use. CPU, Central Processing Unit. This device is a chip that processes and controls the execution of computer program machine codes. No less, the central processor is the most important link in the entire system. It is this device that makes it possible for programs on the computer to function. The principle of operation of the device is as follows. According to a single standardized binary code that contains only 2 values, 1 and 0, a signal is sent to the processor. The value 0 is the absence of an electric charge, and 1 is its presence. This is how the information contained in the program is encoded. After the code enters the CPU, the activity of a particular computer block begins, which performs strictly defined functions. In the computer world, it is customary to distinguish the following characteristics of the CPU: clock speed, performance, power consumption, characteristics of the lithographic process, device architecture. Computer system memory unit. The memory unit is an essential part of every computer system. The computer system needs memory to store the program instructions and the data before and after the processing. The computer system memory unit consists of both temporary and permanent memory. The random access memory, RAM, is the main memory where the operating loads the program for its execution. The temporary memory RAM can store the data till the time the system is powered on. Whereas the permanent memory, disk memory, can store the data even after the system power is switched off. Cache memory is a chip-based computer component that makes retrieving data from the computer's memory more efficient. It acts as a temporary storage area that the computer's processor can retrieve data from easily. This temporary storage area, known as a cache, is more readily available to the processor than the computer's main memory source, typically some form of DRAM. Cache memory is sometimes called CPU, Central Processing Unit, memory because it is typically integrated directly into the CPU chip or placed on a separate chip that has a separate bus interconnect with the CPU. Therefore, it is more accessible to the processor, and able to increase efficiency, because it's physically close to the processor. In order to be close to the processor, cache memory needs to be much smaller than main memory. Consequently, it has less storage space. It is also more expensive than main memory, as it is a more complex chip that yields higher performance. What it sacrifices in size and price, it makes up for in speed. Cache memory operates between 10 to 100 times faster than RAM, requiring only a few nanoseconds to respond to a CPU request. The computer system makes the use of different types of memories organized in a hierarchical manner, and together they are referred as memory unit. The arrangement of different types of memories is referred as memory hierarchy. The computer memory unit consists of different types of memories which differ in capacity, access speed, physical size and the cost of the memory. Each of the memory is optimally used in the computer system depending upon its access speed, size and proximity to the CPU. The computer system makes use of different types of memory depending upon the functional requirements. The computer memory is mainly divided into two types based on the data retention by the computer memory when power is switched off to the computer system. Computer system memory. Temporary and permanent memory. The computer memories can be grouped into two basic types depending upon the data retention by memory when system power supply is switched off. If the memory retains the data without power supply, then it is referred as permanent memory. For example, hard disk, pen drive or permanent memory, also referred as secondary memory. The random access memory, RAM, is the main system memory for a computer system. The RAM is a temporary memory because it retains the data only till the time the system power supply is on. The data in the RAM is lost once the system is switched off. And therefore main memory RAM is referred as temporary memory, also referred as primary memory. Introduction to computer system. Program execution. The program execution is the main function of the computer system. The computer system makes use of its hardware and software components to execute the program. Various components such as memory, RAM, CPU, input devices, output devices performs different functions together during the program execution. Accept the data from input devices. The computer system operates on the data as per the program instructions. The computer accepts the data through different types of input devices such as mouse, keyboard, scanner and other input devices. Store data and program in memory. The computer stores the data and the program into its main memory RAM. The program is stored into the memory as set of instructions. The CPU starts the program execution by fetching the data and instructions from the memory. The CPU sends the processed data back to the memory for the output devices. Data processing. The computers are extensively used for data processing jobs. The process converting the raw data into useful information is deemed as data processing. The data is processed as per the program instructions. For example, the monthly attendance data is converted into salary statements at the end of the month by using a payroll application software. Send output to output device. The output devices are used to send the result that can be used by the user. The program output can either be sent to the monitor, printer, storage disks or any other output device. Control all operations. The computer system controls the operations of the software and hardware components. The control unit of the CPU, central processing unit, controls the operations of the entire computer system. Types of computer systems. Desktop computer, palm-top computer, workstation computer, web server computer, mini computer, mainframe computer, supercomputer, embedded computer. Computer system architecture. In computer engineering, the computer system architecture is the conceptual design and fundamental operational structure of a computer system. It is the technical drawings and functional description of all design components and requirements. The system architecture deals the system performance parameters such as speed and interconnections. The system architecture can also be deemed as the science and art of selecting and interconnecting hardware components to create computer systems that meet functional, performance and cost goals. And therefore a better system architecture will produce a better design and system performance. Computer hardware. The computer system mainly consists of hardware components and the software components. All the physical components inside the computer cabinet and the input/output gadgets attached to the computer are referred as hardware components. The hardware components inside the computer cabinet are referred as internal components such as motherboard. The external hardware components attached to the computer system are also referred as peripheral devices such as keyboard, mouse, monitor. A motherboard is a basic printed circuit board (CEB) that is mounted inside a computer cabinet. The motherboard is a junction point for some important internal components. Components that are directly placed on the motherboard include a microprocessor, CPU, RAM, graphics card, sound card, north bridge, and south bridge. Computer system microprocessor. The central processing unit CPU effectively functions as a brain of the computer system. The CPU performs arithmetic and logical operations and provides processing power of the computer system. The CPU is mounted on the motherboard inside a processor socket, which is a special slot present on the motherboard. The processor chip firmly placed inside CPU socket with help of lever locking mechanism. A heatsink and a cooling miniature fan is placed on the top of the processor chip to protect the processor chip from excessive heat generated by the processor chip. The central processing unit CPU is also alternately referred to as microprocessor or processor. The processor provides the processing power to the computer system. The CPU performs a number of vital functions. One of the main function of the CPU is to execute the computer program. The CPU executes the computer program by repetitively performing a machine cycle, which is a basic operation of the processor. Random access memory, RAM. The computer system makes use of different types of memories. These different types of memories are organized into the system in order to optimize the CPU performance. The main system memory RAM, random access memory, modules are mounted inside special RAM slots on the motherboard. Each motherboard has Z number of RAM slots. The maximum permissible RAM size, 4GB, 8GB, 16GB, supported by the system depends upon the system configuration and the type operating system, 32-bit or 64-bit OS. System power supply unit. The computer system has a centralized power supply unit that provides electrical power supply to various internal components. The desktop computer system power system is referred as EMS, which stands for switched mode power supply. The EMS provides different voltage of power supply to different components through set of electric wires. Computer software. The computer software is a set program instructions designed to perform a specific tasks. A computer program is written in computer programming language such as C, Java, Python and so many other languages. The computer system makes use of two types of software. 1. System software. 2. Application software. The system software is used by the system itself to manage and control the system hardware components. The operating system communicates with the hardware components through system software. The system software includes operating system, OS, device drivers and other system utility programs. The application software are used by the computer user to perform various tasks on the system. The commonly used application software includes SAP, Word, Excel. Computer system software. In computer system architecture, the system software is a collection of programs designed to operate, control and extend the processing capabilities of the computer system and the other hardware devices connected to the computer system. The system software is also designed and developed by the computer manufacturer to communicate with specific hardware components connected to the computer system. For example, when we connect a new device to the system, we need to install the device driver to operate the device, such as camera, printer, scanner and other such devices. Both application programs and the operating system needs a special software called device driver to communicate and to drive the various hardware components connected to the computer system. The device driver is a system software which functions as an interface between the computer hardware and the operating system. The system software programs are generally written in a low-level programming language such as assembly language. Application software. The application software provides an interface to the computer user to perform a specific job on the computer system. For example, writing document, making presentation or managing accounts. Application software are installed on the system to provide specific functionality to the system. The application software is designed and developed to satisfy a specific need of the computer user. For example, SCPOs, accounting software, Tally, engineering drawing software, AutoCAD, are some of commonly used application software. Application software can be single program application or a group of programs bundled together such as SCPOs. Each of these programs in a bundle has been designed to provide specific functionality to the user. Evolution of computers. The computers are today an integral part of the human world, and human world today critically depends upon the computing power of today's modern computers. The applications of computers are an indispensable part of every industry we can possibly think of. The computer science and technology has also evolved over a period of last few decades, both in the hardware technology and also in the software domain. However, the history of computer science began long before our today's modern discipline of computer science. In the past 70 years, the computers have evolved from room-sized megaboxes to the desktops computers. And now, computers are in our pockets with far more computing power and mobility. Turing machine. But the modern computing machine era began with Alan Turing's conception of the Turing machine, and the invention of the transistor by 3 Bell Labs scientists. The invention of transistor was a major breakthrough in the field of digital electronics. The transistor is a tiny electronic component that used as a microswitch in digital electronics. The transistors soon replaced the bulky valves used in the second generation of computers. The transistors are a fundamental building block of all modern processor chips. The Turing machine is an important mathematical computation model in the theory of computing. Although this model was first proposed and invented by Alan Turing in year 1936, the Turing machine model is still considered to be a standard of computational model to verify a particular problem can be solved using a computer system. Turing machine is still relevant despite the passage of time and the advancements in the various fields of computer science. Despite the simplicity of the model, the Turing machine can simulate both simple and a very complex algorithm. Transistors. Evolution of computers. Computer architecture. The CPU is the brain of the computer system which performs all the mathematical calculations and logical operations. The CPU consists of millions of tiny components called the transistor. The transistor functions as a micro switch that can be simulate the two binary states 0 and 1. The transistors are made up of semiconductor material silicon. The transistor can easily function as microswitch to represent the two states, on 1 and off 0 in binary. The transistor is a fundamental building block for all digital electronic devices including computers. The invention of tiny electronic component transistor was a major technological leap forward that has made the modern style computing possible today. The invention of transistor was an important milestone in the field of digital electronics which rewarded the 3 Bell Lab scientists with the 1956 Nobel Prize in Physics. The microprocessor consists of millions of these transistors. Conclusion. To the known types of resources, material, labor, energy, financial, a new one was added, previously not taken into account, information. Only on the basis of modern replenishment, accumulation, processing of an information resource, it is possession of reliable information, rational management of any sphere of human activity, correct decision making is possible. This is especially true for the medical sector. The use of modern computers makes it possible to shift labor-intensive operations to automatic or automated devices that can operate at a speed exceeding the speed of human information processing by millions of times. The use of computers leads to a radical restructuring of production technology in almost all industries, commercial and healthcare, as a result, to increase productivity and improve working conditions of people. That is why a modern specialist should have theoretical knowledge in the field of information and communication technologies and practical skills in using computer technology, communication technology, and other management tools. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.